You mentioned earlier attention, and I am convinced. I've heard several people say this or read it, that proper attention, is an act of worship.
Yeah, right.
And so
that's a definition of worship, actually, because you pay attention. Worship, the act of worship it's indistinguishable from paying attention.
Yes.
Because what you're doing when you attend is you're prioritizing the object of attention.
Right, exactly.
Well, to worship is to prioritize.
Yes, right.
And so this is what's so stunning about these sequence, let's say, of discoveries in neuroscience. It's like, oh, I see. Every glance, whether you know it or not, is an act of worship. Now the question comes up.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
I see where you're going with that.
Sure.
That's very
it's
interesting.
It's like, what are you worshiping?
Yes.
Well, nothing.
Yes.
It's like, well, then your eyes are closed and you're asleep. It's
Right.
like, no, there's no escape from this.
There is no escape.
Right.
Yeah. I just ran a class for some applicants to my university, and we were discussing David Foster Wallace's "This Is Water" Kenyan graduation speech. I don't know if you know this, but anyway, it's great. And at some point there, he says, that everybody worships something, right? And that in fact, and he makes this case, he says, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's Yahweh, whether it's some extreme, the good, something like this. If you don't bow down to those highest things, then your life is going to be miserable.
Well, you could be a pagan and a polytheist, and you could be a worshiper of your own whims. This is another thing I've been trying to take apart, particularly in the last couple of years. It's like, especially because I started to understand more deeply the golden calf story. It's like, well, I don't worship anything.
Right.
Okay, well, let's take that apart a bit. Okay, it's because it's about me.
Yes.
Well, or it could be about nothing, because you could be nihilistic, but then you're like suicidal and dead if you take that, or worse, if you take that pathway. Okay, so let's say there's nothing superordinate to you. Okay, but then when an ugly question comes up, it's like, well, what do you mean by you? Do you mean the higher you that's in service to your wife and your family for the long run? Or do you mean the you that's at the strip club with like a Jack Daniels carafe in your hand?
Golden calf.
Right, exactly that.
That's
and if the you that you are prioritizing is what you want, what you're actually saying is that the momentary whims that seize you are your God.
Exactly.
Well, and then you could easily ask, and should, it's like, what makes you think that those whims, why is it self-evident to you that you're identical with your whims? That just means you're possessed by something low so completely that you don't even know that you're possessed. Like, once you start to open up the question of what is the you that you're serving, if you're selfish, let's say, it's because it's not self-evident that you are your selfish aims.
Indeed.
Especially because they change. So there's no escape from the problem of prioritization. Right.
So if you have the proper goal, and let's not try to define that, but let's say it's transcendent. It's
whatever's at the top of Jacob's ladder.
Right. That's a great way to put it.
It's a lovely way of putting it.
Yes.
Because you climb up and it keeps receding.
Yes, that's good.
C'est la vie.
So then your attention can be rightly focused, and the questions are the right ones. That's the important thing.